Hello, hello, and welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I'm Topher. And for those of you who don't know and just randomly decided to click on my video, welcome to the channel. I'm Topher. Thank you for stopping by. So we're here to do a reaction, and we're diving into a new series on the channel. If you saw my channel update video for August 2023, you would have seen one of the series we're diving into this month is Unintentional Love Story. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna dive into the first episode, and you can expect these reactions every week on Wednesdays, unless something changes. But if something does change, I'll let you guys know in my community tab on my channel. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. Since it is a Korean series, and those tend to be notorious for getting flagged and blocked and copyright stricken, I'm not going to have the full reaction on YouTube. I might put a little preview or something, we'll see, but the full reaction will be available over on my Patreon for free, like all my other reactions are. The link will be down in the description. Just click on the link and it'll take you where you need to go. But we're going to dive into this and just see what the story is all about.
좀 더 사장님 옆에 있으면서 더 많이 보고 배우고 싶다고 생각했습니다.
Okay, I'm gonna linger around just a little bit longer. Okay, you guys seem like good.
했죠? 네. 나가세요.
Oh.
네? 좀 봐주시면 안 돼요?
Like, I don't trust you. Daddy, yes. You could try using your words instead of pushing up on me like this with your perfect nose and pointy jaw. No, Daddy, please stop it. Use your words, please. Child? Child? Daddy, child. Sir, ma'am, sir. Words. Please use your words. I'm an impressionable youth right here, and I'm not trying to be taken advantage of right now. Well, of course, that's where you want to end the damn episode. Rude. Rude and disrespectful. Okay, well, this was a fun little start to the series. Y'all already know I'm terrible with names, so it'll take me a hot minute to get these names committed to memory. But I've got my little drama list pulled up here, so I can kind of do a little cheat sheet. So let's see. So we started off with Won Young losing his job. Apparently, the boss above him got fired for corruption or something. He was some shady dealings. He was doing something bad, and he got fired for it. And as a result, I guess the people working directly under him also ended up getting fired, or his boss used his name or something. And even though his boss obviously can't be trusted and is very untrustworthy with some of his dealings and his stories and whatnot, it was enough to get Won Young fired as well. But Won Young's supervisor, I guess above where his boss was, he's at least saying that he believes Won Young is innocent and that he'll be allowed back into the office, and they'll rehire him soon enough. He says that, but there's something in the there's something in the vibe of how they're speaking or how they're presenting it, that if it wasn't for the fact that Won Young called him up, it's like, hey, I found homeboy who's been missing for 2 years. I found him. If that conversation didn't happen, I don't know that Won Young would actually get his job back. I'm just getting that sort of vibe, and I don't think it's necessarily the supervisor being deceptive or anything like that. I just don't know that he would have gotten his job back. I just don't feel that energy coming off of the series. But anyway, it's like, his friend told him, why don't you just take a quick little trip, take a little vacation, clear your head, and it'll do you some good. Don't worry about this. Don't stress about this. By the time you get back, it might have all blown over and you'll be back at work Monday morning. Who knows? So he took a little trip outside the city, and he's just enjoying himself on the beach. I guess the hotel he's staying at, or the owner It's like, hey, we got tons of fresh sashimi. If you want some, come get some. Like, oh yes, I love it. But then he started thinking about the situation some more, and he got a phone call from his boss trying to get or from the supervisor trying to get the password to the laptop, and still no change or no update on whether or not he has a job or whether or not he can come back. And just the whole situation was just making him frustrated, and he knocked the plate off the table and accidentally broke it, and he's like, oh no. And the hotel, or the what's the word, inn owner or whatever kind of establishment it is, she was being very polite, and she was just gonna let it go. She's like, oh no, it's okay, it's fine, blah blah blah. And little girl, being a child, children have zero filter. They don't care whose feelings they're hurt. They don't care what awkward situation. They just gonna speak what's on their mind. So the little girl's like, that was my mom's favorite plate. You broke her absolute favorite plate. That was going to be my inheritance. That plate cured my daddy's cancer. That plate did my taxes. That plate, it's got a Nobel Peace Prize. Like, that plate was everything, and you broke it. Just laying it on thick. And he's like, oh, okay, I will get you another plate. Please let me know where you got it. So she's like, I got it from this shop up in town, blah blah blah. So he's like, okay, how do I get to this market? How do I get to this market? And, he had a whole little montage there, and he finally found the market. He found the shop, and he's like, hey, I wanted to get another plate. It was originally bought here, and I broke it, so I just want to get the same one. And what was his name? Taejun wasn't having that. He's like, excuse me, sir, no two plates are the same. No, the clay is different. There might be different minerals. An artist who takes his work very seriously. He's clearly very passionate about his work and what he does. And you know what? I love it. I love it. He's out here letting him know, like, no, there are no two plates that are the same. And I get where Won Young was coming from, because, like, I'd probably come and say something similar, like, okay, she bought this at Target, she bought the Olympus set or whatever, so I just need another one of the Olympus. I just need that one, just one that looks exactly the same. And because, like, I'm not an artist in that. I'm a performing artist, not a visual artist, especially when it comes to, like, ceramics, clay work, and all that kind of stuff. It's nothing that I've have experience in, so I don't know the difference. So I would probably say something absent-minded like that, and then have someone who's super passionate about art just, like, ream me a new one. Like, no, they are not the same. So I appreciate his passion, and clearly that passion ignited a fire of inspiration in Won Young, and he's like, oh, I need more. I need to know more about this man. And then I guess it wasn't until he went to check out that pieces started to click in his brain, and he's like, oh, this is that guy that I coincidentally was supposed to find. I was, whenever my boss gave me that mission, what a coincidence, I found him. And at that point, I was spitting out a bunch of different ideas in my head as to, like, which direction this could go. Obviously, we're going to go in the direction of he's going to stay behind and kind of undercover try and get to know this person a little bit, and then in that process they're going to start to feel something for each other, and then somewhere towards the end of the series, the secret's going to come out that he actually works for this company that Taejun's been hiding from, and it's going to put a rift between them. He's like, why weren't you honest with me before? And I'm sorry, I'm just such a sweet boy, and I'm sorry. And they're going to have a rift, and then they're probably going to get together back at the end and, tie it all in a bow. So I feel like that storyline is pretty much guaranteed what's going to happen. But outside of that, I was spitting out different ideas in my head as to whether or not Won Young was going to be given the mission to stay behind and, try and convince him to come back, or whether it was going to be Won Young's just curiosity that kept him here, and he kind of, not necessarily that he was going to sit here and try and get him to come back, but just his curiosity was going to get him to stay here and try and learn more about him. There's also a point there where I wasn't sure if, like, when he was introducing himself, like, I'm Won Young and I'm 27 and I'm looking for a job, this, that, the other. Taejun was like, your name's Won Young? And he's like, mm-hmm. And at that point, I'm like, does he recognize that name? Does he recognize that name from the company? Maybe this, that, the other. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's going to take a slight deviation, and we're going to go down the route where Taejun already knows who Won Young is, and is going to just call him out on it, and then we're just going to have this open, honest conversation from the jump. Or maybe he's going to keep it secret to himself and just wait to see if Won Young fesses up to anything, or maybe not. Who knows? Like, there's so many different ways that this storyline could play out, but I feel like the first thing I said is more or less guaranteed to happen. But who knows? They might switch the script on me, because there are a couple points throughout the series or throughout the episode where they did do that, where it's like kind of expected it to go down this cliche route when especially when he's like, yes, I'm this, and I'm looking for a job, and like they had like this bright sunny music playing behind him, and the guy from the coffee shop was still standing outside the window, and he's like, yeah, he's doing this, I'm gonna leave him alone, and he walked off. I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna hire him because he feels so honored that this guy is, inspired by the words that he said. And he's like, I need you to get the fuck out. I'm like, oh, okay, well, way to subvert my expectations. Go on ahead. But I love it. I love having my expectations subverted. So then he, after trying multiple times, he's like, look, I need you to stop, because if you don't stop, I'm going to get mad. And you're not going to like me when I'm mad. And I don't know if him telling Won Young to stop was, again, because he recognizes the name, or from the company, or if it's just his way of self-preservation, and he's like, I'm just trying to keep a low profile, and I don't need anybody just, uprooting what I've built here. Like, I've got a nice little cushy gig here, and I've flown under the radar for this long, and I would like to just stay here, so I'm not trying to have other people come into my world right now. So not sure what his intentions are, but he's basically saying, stop it, low boy, stop it, I don't have time for this, please stop. So he ends up going to the coffee shop and getting a job there. Much easier to get a job there than it was at the ceramic shop. And yeah, throughout his journeys of just like taking the coffee, delivering this there and the other, like, you can tell he is a hard worker, and you can tell just from the personality traits we've seen thus far, he is someone who is very much a hard worker, and almost to the point of being like a people pleaser, kind of pushover sort of thing ish. I'm getting a little bit of those vibes, and kind of maybe reason why he got fired in the first place, because the boss left his name and probably knew that he wasn't gonna really put up a fight, or he might just take the fall for all of it and not really put up a fight for himself. Getting those kind of vibes a little bit, but could be wrong. We're still early in the series. But yeah, you can definitely see that he's very much a hard worker, sweet boy, and sweet boy who might just get taken advantage of a lot. Doesn't quite know how to say no or stand up for himself just yet. But yeah, he's working in the coffee shop. We had the one scene where coffee owner guy, whose name I don't remember right now, took him to get the bone broth, and that's where we ran into the guy who I'm pretty sure is from, yes, I recognize that face, from You Make Me Dance, because he was all kinds of magically delicious in that, and I mean, he still is, but now he's got a tattoo on his arm, and I don't know, but he had some sort of, we'll say, animosity with what is the other friend's name? Dong-hee? Is that him? Yes. So there was some sort of energy between them, but I feel like that energy may turn into enemies to lovers, especially since they're the other two on the poster art for this series. So I'm going to assume that, yes, they work out to be happy in some way, shape, or form, which I'm excited to see how that develops, because they're both very, very handsome men, and y'all know I love handsome men doing gay shit. Yeah, and then we had that last scene where Taejun was pushing up on Won Young, and I'm like, Lord, baby, please use your words, please stop pushing up on me like this, because had that been me, bitch would have caught a tongue to the back of the tonsils with a quickness. Like, you're not going to be all up in my space like this and then start grabbing me by the chin and placing your arm on. Like, you're not going to be putting me in this position and not expect a tongue to the back of the tonsils, sir. So I need you to either use your words, say what you want, but young Won Young is a sweet boy, and he's not the type to put tongue to the back of the tonsils at any given moment. So he seems a little frazzled, a little befuddled. Like, I don't know what's happening. Oh, what is happening? And so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens in the next episode. And by wait and see, I mean I'm gonna watch the next episode right now because I can. Will I post the next episode this week specifically, or will I wait until next week? I don't know. We'll see how my recording and stuff goes for the rest of the week, and if there's time for that. But I'm gonna dive in the next episode. So hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications to be notified when all of my shenanigans get posted. If there's anything else you'd like me to react to, be sure to leave it down in the comments. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you're more than welcome to join us over on Patreon. You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to if you want to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Love ya. Mwah.
Together, there's nothing we can do. Soaring through the clouds.